Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. So, as Paul said, my name is Mark Sage, and I'm the Executive Director of the area. We're the only global membership-funded alliance helping to accelerate the adoption of enterprise augmented reality by creating a comprehensive ecosystem. It's really great to be here in Santa Clara. As you can probably guess, I'm not an American. And this is my second time at AWE. And today we'll talk about the current status of the enterprise augmented reality and what the area is doing and its members to improve and increase its awareness. So we all know that companies, to survive in a global economy, need to operate at peak performance, as competition is really fierce. To survive, companies are looking at new technology and business solutions to make real, tangible differences, and the use of augmented reality is just one. There are a number of key business problems that can be successfully solved by using AR, and I'm sure you'll hear many of them over the next few days at this conference. But I just wanted to outline a number of generic benefits. So AR can improve performance by presenting only the latest, most relevant and contextual information and data when it's needed, helping to reduce resource costs by enabling experts to be at the disposal of the entire workforce, and benefit from real-time compliance by capturing, recording, and certifying processes immediately. So to support the increase in performance, companies are looking to become more effective and efficient, basically to do more with less resources. And AR can also help in this objective. Let's look at a few more examples. Reducing time and improving the efficiencies of infrequent and complex tasks, preventing human error and miscalculation, and lowering the impact of task interruption and errors. So the AR ecosystem is made up of a number of different segments. Each are important, and within the area, we reflect this by having different sets of members. From enterprises, we have companies like Boeing and Bosch, Lockheed Martin, Newport News Shipbuilding. We have a variety of hardware, software, and full end-to-end solution providers. And we also work with non-commercial organizations like universities and public government agencies who are leading edge of research and thinking. So there's lots of benefits being gained, but still AR is not really a mainstream technology. There's still a few problems. So why is this? Well, the industry is still in its infancy, and to use Gartner's hype cycle model, AR is still in the trough of disillusionment. But by talking with the area enterprise companies, one of the problems is that there's not enough information for executives to make confident and informed investment decisions to use AR, or at least go beyond initial pilots and small projects. From an AR provider perspective, it's still difficult to find potential customers. At this stage, customers have a limited understanding of the benefits, which means there's lots of education to be done by the provider, which leads to difficult, drawn out, and long sales cycles. So to summarize the situation, we're currently in, at least what I'm calling, an irregular ecosystem. Characteristics are such as there's uncertainty of areas in where to invest, providers are unable to find customers, technology readiness is still unclear, best use cases are still being defined. However, we are moving very quickly, and I've seen a real difference in the last 6 months towards a developing ecosystem. There's definitely more clarity on best practice and best tools for the purpose. I think what's really important is language is now being shared between providers and enterprises, and key business decision makers are being involved, like the CEOs, CTOs, and CIOs. So we're really moving very quickly towards this developing ecosystem. So ultimately, for AR to be successful, we need to work together to create a comprehensive ecosystem. And I like to use a kind of an African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So what's the area doing to help and create and support this ecosystem? Let me explain a little bit about who, what, and why the area is needed. So, as I said at the start, we're a membership-funded alliance helping to accelerate the adoption of enterprise AR by creating this comprehensive ecosystem. It was created when a number of innovative companies got together and wanted to invest in AR and found that they needed a better understanding of what tools were available, what the application possibilities were, how to implement, and what's really important, return on investment. And once they started to get together, we found that we learned from each other. You can co-innovate, you can build partnerships, all for the long-term adoption of AR. So basically, at the highest level, the area provides a free and open exchange of good practice, lessons learned, and technology insights, which basically help enterprises implement AR for the long term. Here's a snapshot of some of our members. You can see, as I explained earlier, ranging from enterprises to providers to non-commercial entities. So let me go into a little bit more detail about actually what we're doing. First, around the thought leadership, we have the area portal, which creates, collates, and curates all the AR enterprise information. We've got blog articles, we've got use cases, we've got case studies, we've got technology white papers, and we're building up a database of return on investment as well. It's basically your one-stop shop. You can find all the events about AR in that space as well. In terms of networking, we don't really run events, but as been mentioned a few times here today, we support events like AWE, and I've curated all of this speaker track here. But we've also got members' meetings here where we talk about what's needed to support the AR ecosystem. We have a number of different committees. We have a research committee which allows the members to propose different research projects. And in fact, tomorrow at 10:15, Tony and the company that we've employed to do a research project will be talking about security in wearables, which we believe as an organization is a very important area. We also have a requirements committee. The area actually owns the first global set of functional requirements that were created by Lockheed Martin, Caterpillar, and Procter & Gamble, which we're going to take forward and share with the ecosystem and get comments and things like that. We also see a skills gap in the industry, so we're working with universities to create courses and look at jobs boards and things like that so we can fill that skills gap. So, if you're interested in becoming a member, please come and see me. We have a stand downstairs. There's a different sets of kind of membership. The sponsor one gives you access to the board and speaking bureaus and all of the content and stuff like that. But basically come and speak to me. So in a matter of time, so I know we've got a lot to go through, I'm going to hold it there. Wish you a great conference. There's a load of great stuff going on. I'm actually talking tomorrow morning in a bit more detail about the requirements and what we've done there. I think the Slido thing, if anybody's used that, I'm happy to take a few questions.
So, can we get the...
It's up there. So how can we help increase people's confidence in the implementation of new technologies? And I think one of the things we've been working on is around the kind of case studies, so real-life examples of technology being implemented. That always helps. Around the return on investment, so it's okay saying these projects are great, but how much did it cost and how much money did I save or I make is another fact points that we need for executives within industry. You know, it's about sharing that neutral information as well, and I emphasize the word neutral. It's about making sure that the right story is about what's actually happening in the industry, about making stories about what could happen. How do startups find area? I don't know who wrote that, but thank you. We're actually just launching today, and I've completely forgotten it, a new startup package for joining the area. So it's a lower fee for the first couple of years. You get access to all of the different information that's available. If you come down to the stand, you can sign up there and then, and we really want to help give a foot up to the startups because there's plenty of them in the AR enterprise ecosystem space.
We actually have quite a few more questions coming in for you, Mark. Let's take one from John Canosa. We all know there are tremendous potential benefits of AR in the enterprise. If you could hone in on one thing necessary to make it take off, what would it be?
So I think it's quite an interesting thing, my speakers. Okay, it's quite... I'll try again. Oh, there we go. We're back. So there's a couple of things. The technology, I believe, is moving forward really quickly. But when I speak to some of the bigger enterprises, it's actually not so much about the technology, it's about the changing culture within those organizations. So it's a people and an organizational element as well. So I think there's some great stories that I can tell, and I won't do it today, about, there's a perception that people will ignore the technology or won't want to use it, but actually they really do. The important thing is they want to use it in situations which is helpful for them. So they don't want AR all the time, but if they have a problem or they haven't done something for a long period of time, AR really helps them in those situations. So, I think one thing to say, yes, we have some work to do with the technology, but I'm absolutely sure that the technology will move forward fast enough. It's now about changing the hearts and the minds and the souls of the enterprises and the workers. They can really benefit from AR. And a lot of the organizations are using AR because of the aging workforce and being able to train people much quicker and easier to start working much quicker as well. So that would be one of my answers to that question.
All right, great. I think in the interest of time, we'll probably move on. I think, Mark, you may have a chance to respond to these later through Slido.
I promise I will, yeah. I'm not sure how we do that. I'll find a lady, but we'll definitely get some answers back.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Great. Thank you very much.
Please thank the speaker.